Welcome to City Skin Clinic's YouTube channel. I am Dr. Ibrahim and I am super excited to be doing today's video. It's on a question that we get asked a lot during consultations, by email, so I think it's really worth answering, and it's basically how much lip filler will I need? So I touched a little bit on my last video, which I've got a link to in the comments and a link to the video at the end of this, about generally how to know, how to kind of start thinking or finding out how much dermal filler you'll need in general. And as you'll appreciate, this is quite a complex question, but I've simplified it as to what factors affect this. Today, I'm going to be focusing on how much lip filler you'll need or what that might look like. And just to give you a few ideas, I'll be using a few examples from some of our lovely clients in the clinic to let you know what sort of different amounts of filler look like. So the important thing before I continue, whenever you're thinking about what treatment is right for you or how much product you'll need, it's really important to realize that this is very much dependent on, firstly, you as a person, what the current problem or what you don't like or what result that you're hoping to achieve, also what kind of product is being used, and your doctor as well and their technique. The most important thing though is really what aim you're trying to achieve and where you are right now. So if you are someone with generally, for example, good lip volume but you just want a little bit of definition, then you're going to need a small amount of filler. If you are someone who has got a few issues, such as you've got quite thin lips and perhaps you've also got a lack of definition and maybe you have some wrinkles, sort of smoker's lines around the mouth, that sort of thing, or kind of smile lines underneath here, then you are going to need more filler and probably more than one type of filler. So that's something really important, and that's why we focus on the concept of a personalized treatment plan and a personalized and tailored consultation to make you kind of realize what you need. And then it's up to you whether you want to proceed with that or not, but it's really important to bear this in mind. And when I discuss this, obviously it's important to realize that each person will vary a little bit. But these are my general kind of rule of thumb. So as a general rule, if you're looking to achieve a natural looking result and you want to focus a little bit on maybe definition and shape and a bit of volume, you're going to need anything between 0.5 ml of filler all the way up to a couple of ml of filler. Now, there are people who will have more than 2 ml of filler, and that's fine. It just depends on the look you're trying to achieve. From my experience and from what we do at the clinic, and our focus is very much on a natural kind of a more enhanced version of you, then really the maximum you'll probably need around that area is a couple of ml of filler if you're just looking at the lips on their own and not doing any work around the sides. So the first example I'm going to give you is of someone who has generally good kind of lip shape but wants a little bit of volume and a little bit, tiny bit of definition, but generally is happy with the overall look of the lips, just wants to make them pop a little bit more. So with her half a ml or 0.55 ml of Juvederm Smile provides a really good result. This kind of allows us to define a little bit the top and the bottom lip, and then just a tiny bit of volume centrally just to make the lips pout a little bit. And as you can see from this example, and all of the examples you see, this is about achieving a really natural result that goes with your face and that kind of emphasizes and enhances your actual lip shape rather than trying to change it completely. In my opinion, that's usually the best result, is working with your lip rather than trying to force it one way or the other. You'll get a really beautiful result that looks really good, but is also believably your lip as well. So in that kind of situation, half a ml of filler or 0.55 ml of filler is completely adequate. Another example is someone who is not keen to enhance the volume of their lip, but just wants to focus a little bit of definition and support for the lip. Again, in that sort of situation, you will always with lip filler have a slight enhancement in volume, but it's just about how subtle it is. Again, 0.55 ml of filler, you can see it was adequate to kind of just focus on areas like the border and outline of the lip to give it a bit more definition, a little bit more structure. And then there are other things that we do around the lip to also enhance it, such as putting a little bit of filler in the cupid's bow area and a little bit in these columns that just kind of gives a lift to the lip and just gives a little bit more definition and a nice kind of strong shape. So in that situation, again, a small amount of filler was noticeable. And you can see from both of these, clients are both quite young. They generally have a lot going in terms of lip-wise, the shape, or the definition. They're just wanting to focus on one or two tiny things, and that's a really good way to set it up. So the other, most commonly, I would say, most people tend to have 1 ml of lip filler, whether that's 1 ml of Voluma, which is longer lasting and it's a really nice soft kind of lip filler, or 1 ml of Juvederm Ultra 3 or 4, which is again quite a nice sort of, I'd say a thicker, quote unquote, filler, and it's good for a young lip, it's good for providing shape and definition, and that lasts for less than Voluma. If you're interested in any of these products, I've left a link below to our products pages which kind of describe them a little bit more, and if you like, I will also be looking at doing some videos on the different products that we use, so keep an eye out for these. 1 ml of filler I'd say most people tend to have at our clinic, and that is usually enough to give you both definition and a bit of volume work and a little bit of reshaping, but again, a really natural looking result. So if the filler is placed properly and it's injected in the right way and it's used to balance your face and it's used to give you a very realistic looking lip shape and lip volume, then it will be very subtle. You will notice it and you'll be happy, but it's not the sort of thing that people will be able to look at and think that, you know, you definitely have had filler. It's mostly, you've got a really nice lip shape, and that's it. And that's the result that we always look for any of our treatments. So I'm going to give you an example of someone who, many people have 1 ml of filler, and as you can see, with that we're able to focus on, firstly, redefining the lip and really bringing out her lip shape and balancing the top and the bottom lip so that it was nicely proportioned, but also doing a little bit in terms of volume and really enhancing that lip and giving a little bit of a pout, but not too much. So that's what kind of 1 ml of filler will look like, and again, the appearance you get will ultimately depend on your face shape, your lip shape, and that's how it should be, because that's what you want, is a really nice, subtle, natural looking result. So sometimes when you have, for example, quite a bit to do, so perhaps you need a lot of redefinition and a lot of enhancement and a lot of work around the lip area. For example, you also want to do the columns, the cupid's bow, maybe there's a tiny bit of smile lines around here. You also want a bit more volume, let's say you have really thin lips, then you're going to probably need more than 1 ml of filler. So what we tend to do is start with 1 ml of filler, and then once kind of it settles in and you're happy with it and you've had a few weeks to get used to it, we bring you back in for a follow-up, and at that point, if you really would like a bit more in terms of volume or a bit more in terms of definition or a bit of everything, then you can have an additional 0.5 ml or even another 1 ml. It just depends on what you're looking for and also what we think will work well for you and will look good for you. So here's an example who someone has done that staged approach where they had 1 ml and then initially built on it, and you can see initially the initial result was really pleasant and defined, and she could have just left it there and been happy with it, and that was really, you know, that would have been super good. She just wanted a little bit more. It's someone who started off with quite a thin lip anyway and needed a bit more work, and so adding gently that process another ml of filler again has given that correction that she was after, but just a little bit more, and still kind of looking quite nice and subtle and beautiful. And remember, with lip enhancement or any type of treat dermal filler treatment, it's always less is more. It's always best to start with a little bit and then work up, rather than kind of have quite a bit done and then you're not sure whether you needed it or not. And that's why it's so important to have sort of a detailed consultation and a treatment plan as well that's kind of tailored towards you. So I hope you found that useful, and if you check out our Instagram, we've got quite a few before and afters and treatment ideas, and we've also got an IGTV channel where I answer common treatment or skin concern questions every Friday. So let me know, leave a comment below, let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the alert button, and then you'll be notified whenever there's a new video. And I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it was useful, and please reach out if you have any questions or any topics you'd like me to discuss.